At this place in history, we're in Northfield with Steve Perkins, the executive director of the Vermont Historical Society. Steve, we're on the Norwich University campus, and people can certainly recognize what general type of object this is. How does it relate to the person we're talking about?
A couple of weeks ago, we talked about Ernest Harmon, who was an Olympian and a president here at Norwich, but really a huge impact on the American armed forces, especially in armor. He started off as a cavalry officer, obviously moved into armor, leadership role in World War II. So we've invited Andrew Liptak back. He's on the staff with us at Vermont Historical Society.
So this is a Sherman tank, and this is a really common vehicle that the armored forces would have used during World War II.
So he commanded mechanized cavalry in World War II, but he actually started out in the traditional horse-based cavalry. Can you tell us a bit about his early military career?
Yeah, so he attended Norwich in 1912 and then went over to West Point. And from there, he went to Fort Ethan Allen here in Vermont, and he was commissioned as a cavalry officer. He was then sent over to France for World War I in the 2nd Cavalry. World War I introduced a lot of different technologies to the battlefield: airplanes, tanks, submarines. In between the two wars, the U.S. Army was trying to figure out, like, how do we use these, and basically ended up using them in place of force-based cavalry units. Harmon was part of a cohort of officers who had all gone to the same schools around the same time, and they were figuring out the tactics and the strategies and how do you use these on the battlefield. So that's sort of where he started to rise up to the ranks. He was commanding the 2nd Armored Division during the Battle of the Bulge, and it was December 1944 when the call came through that the Germans had broken through Allied lines. When the Germans broke through, they took the Allies by surprise. This was sort of the last gasp of Nazi Germany's forces. Harmon got the call and was basically told, you need to move your division 50 miles behind the lines, behind where the Germans were. And they had to do it had to do it overnight. The divisions are huge organizations. There's thousands and thousands of men, lots of vehicles, lots of tanks. And they had to do this at night, blackout, and they were able to move 50 miles overnight, didn't lose a person. And they got basically the rear of the action, and that's where they basically hung out until they waited until the German forces came in and basically ran right into them.
He eventually retired as a general. What happened after World War II?
He was head of the constabulary in Europe, over in Czechoslovakia, so he's sort of a military governor and sort of overseeing like some of the rebuilding in the immediate years afterwards. Retired in 1947 and basically came back to Norwich in 1950 and became the president. And it was there that he oversaw this big expansion of the campus, and he was there until 1965.
For anyone that might want to learn about this facet of General Harmon's background, where might people be able to turn?
So you can stop here at Norwich. If you're a scholar, you can go visit the special collections. They have 21 boxes of Harmon's papers from his time as an Olympian all the way up to his presidency. There's also a lot of books out there that, especially if you're looking specifically at the 2nd Armored Division, you can find a lot of him pop up in a lot of places in those.
He was called Old Gravel Voice, though probably not to his face, at this place in history.